Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country Homestead. God is good all the time. Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own all-natural skin cream. So let's get started. What I have here is some coconut oil, beeswax. I'm using the pellets. You can buy like a block and you can chop it up yourself, but it's kind of difficult to do. It's a lot easier if you can get a hold of these. You're going to need some kind of either like a grapeseed oil or an avocado oil. And what I have here is this is my own herb infused oil. And you can do this. This is highly recommended because I've got calendula and marshmallow leaves in here, which are excellent for skin health. And that, you see how dark that oil is? That was a clear oil because I believe it was a combination of grapeseed and avocado oil, both which are clear. This is not olive oil. And it's much darker than olive oil, which tells me this stuff infused very well. And I'll be doing a video eventually on oil infusion, but you can look up here. I have one where I talk a little bit about it, a little brief one where I give book recommendations and infusing oils. So anyway, this is the last of what was in that jar. And I'm just going to finish pressing the oil out of the herbs. It was a whole bunch. I had to do this several times. The other two ingredients that I'm using is shea butter and some essential oils. And my favorite blend to use for my skin cream is vanilla, ylang ylang, grapefruit, and frankincense. All these things here, the ylang ylang, the grapefruit, and the frankincense are excellent for skin health. And so one of the reasons I like to use those, plus they actually all together have a really nice smell, especially if you add the vanilla oil. It just makes this just really nice scent. But you can use other combinations like rosemary and lavender, or just lavender and vanilla, whatever sounds good to you. There's all kinds of essential oils out there that are really good for your skin. This is just my favorite blend. How this is going to go is 2 parts coconut oil, 2 parts of my infused oil, or you can just use a plain oil. It doesn't have to be infused. This is just going to add more benefits to it. 1 part beeswax and 1 part shea butter. Now I'm making a fairly good sized batch today, so I've got here a 1/2 cup of shea butter, and I'll link to what I'm using below. So there's my shea butter. So I got a 1/2 cup of that. So that's my 1 part shea butter. And then 1 part of my beeswax. Okay, so now I need 2 parts of my oil. And you can see I'm putting this in a saucepan. 1 part beeswax, 1 part shea butter, 2 parts oil. You know, whatever, whether it be avocado, grapeseed, almond oil, whatever you prefer best. And then 2 parts coconut oil. Okay, now that I have all my ingredients in here, I'm going to go set this on the wood stove, and I'm just going to, because my wood stove isn't real hot right now, so it's perfect. So I'm going to set it right on there, and I'm going to let these melt together slowly. You don't want it too hot, so if you're using on conventional stovetop, just set your heat on low. And you just want to get this to where you're not trying to get it really hot. You just want to get it to where everything is melted and you can blend together easy. So I'll be back when this is melted. All right, this is all melted. Right, blended together nicely. And this is when you're going to want to add your essential oils. That's if you use them. They're really not necessary, but just like having the infused oil with the calendula and the marshmallow and whatever other herbs you would want to do if you choose to infuse your oil, it's going to add just a little bit more of a boost to your skin health, to the skin health properties, and plus it just makes a nice smell. Alright, so I got my oils on it all in here. I may add a little bit more of the ylang ylang. Since I don't have the dropper thing off of this, I just opened this one. And I wanted to say that this skin cream, though, I use it for everything. as far as any kind of skin cream. I used to call it a face cream, but it's not just a face cream. This is a good healing cream for cracked skin, whether it be fingers or heels. It's you know, good for dry hands, elbows, lips. You can use it as a lip balm. So if you want to use it as something that you would use as an ointment, it makes a great ointment, especially depending on, like, let's say you put in lavender and lemon oils. That will make a really good, or even melaleuca. Those will make a good replacement for Neosporin or something like that for scratches and burns. This works great for that too, but those other essential oils add a little bit more for helping to heal. But I've used this just like this with these same oils to heal my cracked skin on my fingers and my heels that I get in the summertime. And if you're going to do that, and then for lip balm, if you're going to do that, then I recommend letting this cool enough, making sure it's not going to crack your jars. Pour it into your jars as is. And that's normally what I do, and then I just let it cool. But today, I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to let this cool in the pan until it gets, you know, it takes on a more solid consistency. And then I'm going to whip it up and then put it in my jars. That gives it more of a, makes it, the texture of it more like a regular skin cream. In that book that I'll have linked down below, Rosemary Gladstar, she has her own skin cream recipe, and it is still very rich, but she uses the method with the blender and the aloe and the water. Again, it's just not for me. I prefer this way. So, and this is my own recipe. All right, so anyway, I'll get back to this when I'm ready to whip it up. I cheated a little bit and stuck this in the fridge so it would set up a little bit quicker. But it's pretty thick. This will probably set up some more because the stuff I made, the last stuff I made is definitely thicker than this, but this is actually a really good consistency for putting in the jars. You can let that set up some more and then use like one of these or an electric mixer and just whip it up really good. It's probably something I suggest that you do, you know, as it's setting up. You can set it in the refrigerator, but don't forget about it. Otherwise it might get too hard for you to put in the jars. Obviously, the more liquid the format is, the easier it is going to be to fill your jars. So again, like I said, this will get thicker than this as it cools. If you don't stick it in the refrigerator to chill and then keep checking it every 10-15 minutes, it can take a full day for it to fully set. So just keep that in mind. If you're wanting to have it whipped up kind of like I did, you may want to let it set up even more before you whip it up. Having a good electric or hand beater like this will be sufficient for the consistency of this. Now, you can make it thicker and have it have a more solid set by adding more beeswax. And especially if you're just going to use it for elbows, knees, and your lips, then the more solid it is, that's fine. I've used it in a fairly solid form as my skin cream. This is actually just a little more soft than I normally make it, which is fine. I tried it out. I did a test run on this new recipe that I came up with. I just recently rewrote the recipe. I'm always doing this. I'm always changing things as I go along, and since I was making a good herb-infused oil from my garden herbs, then I wanted to make sure I got more of that in there. So I needed to play with the recipe a little bit to make sure that the ratios were good and it didn't end up just being, you know, just a oil. I want it to be thick enough that I can have it in a container like this and use it however I want, or, you know, rub it on my lips, whatever I want to do. So this also makes a good makeup remover, ladies. I've been using my own skin cream for a couple of years now, and I love it. My skin's been the best it's ever been using an all-natural skin cream and not in throwing out all that store-bought stuff or party-bought stuff, you know what I mean. So look into the ingredients on that stuff. You might be sold on it and think it's great, but look into the ingredients. If it's something you wouldn't eat, you shouldn't put it on your skin. Everything in here is edible. And so I know it's safe for my skin as well, because whatever you put on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So it's as good as eating it. Anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas. Again, just like anything else, you can play with it a little bit to, you know, alter it to get the thickness you want, and whatever essential oils you think is best for you or you like the smell of best. It's just, that's what's great about this stuff, is you can make it totally you. You can tailor it to you. All right, so I hope this helped. I hope you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.